Yes, indeed. Last B final of the day. Last 8-minute final of the day. And it's Scott Smith who lines up on pole position for this one. Alongside him on that front row is Ross Tyler. Then it's William Pemble and Chris Banderi. Then Blake Noble and Dylan Norris. Row 4 sees Sam Light alongside Luke Collins. Then it's Kacper, Pajecki and Alex Duncan running up the top 10. And behind them, Bertie Wellesley and Dalton Norris.
Row 7, Jack Spencer and Danielis Kranskos there. Josh Evans and Oliver Kerr round out row 8. James Tester and Romarion Ubi round out row 9. A little look further back on the grid. Actually, I think that's it. Yeah, yes, it is. There is 18 drivers in this one. I forget. It's a B final, isn't it? So
indeed.
The top 4 again go through from this one. So we look for the bubble in this. Let us know who you are cheering on today. And get your comments in. And hopefully they're still on the dummy grid. And if they are, they can hear us. No, they're not. They've made their way out. That's unfortunate. Here we go, though. Senior Rotax B final into the tram lines. False start.
Good battle, because the drivers are going to want to get into that A final later on today. It'll of course be our final race of the day, will be the Senior Max A final. But here we go for the B final then. 18 drivers on the grid for this one. And we're not going to get it underway. No.
No doubt, he's the best in the country with Stu in second. Lights go out, green flags on, and a little bit of contact between the mid-pack section there as they all squill their way through and up and over, and contact 4 cuts off at turn 1 and several drivers involved. And hopefully they're all okay. Marshall's quick to respond. One driver looking like he's in a slight bit of discomfort there at turn 1. Not sure how that happened again. I think just drivers getting squeezed in on each other. Marshall's quickly on the scene. We'll keep an eye on that one as that progresses. Looks like all the drivers are out of the carts and walking, which is good to see. We'll update you about who those drivers are in just a moment.
The initial driver who went over the top there was apologising before he'd even landed.
Yes.
That's amazing from the driver to have that much thought of other people's well-being that he was apologising for it before the crash even had come to a halt.
Yellow flags out. The 4 cuts involved the 64 of Luke Collins, the 27 of James Tester, the 63 of Alex Duncan, and the 73 of Daniel Karasikons, who were involved in that incident. James Tester has now crossed the line, so he rejoined. So he was involved, but he got going again. The top 4 from this go through to the A final, and at the moment, Scott Smith, right there on your screen, doing a sterling job, holding on to that lead. They come back into yellow flag conditions, so no overtaking through this section. As soon as they have cleared this section, they'll see a green flag on the next marshal post, which they do there, and they get to go racing again.
This is what we want to watch, though. This battle for 4, led by Blake Noble at the moment. Of course, this being the final position that gets into that A final, so all the drivers behind are going to want to get past sharpish.
Yes, indeed. You can imagine the target and the size of it on the back of Blake Noble's helmet here. And every driver trying to get a position done on that one. As down the inside there, Kacper Pajecki on Chris Banderi.
There's more contact between the two of them on exit as well.
Yeah, that is... now you've got to calm down. Yeah, no overtaking through here. Now you can overtake again. Scott Smith, fastest lap of the race.
He's not pulling the gap, though. There's a move down the inside from the 61. That's Jack Spencer trying to get through on Kacper Pajecki. I think he got that one done as well.
Possibly so.
But now look at the train that's forming behind that 4th place Blake Noble. It's basically the rest of the field down to Bertie Wellesley in 12th. That was the driver who we saw pull over to the side at the start. I think he was just dropping back and then rejoined when the start actually happened, did Bertie?
If anything, that probably worked out quite well for him.
Yeah, true. That probably did, actually.
So, yeah, indeed, that is a train that is starting to form. You're right in saying that it is pretty much Blake Noble back backwards there is the field. There's 1, 2, 3 up ahead, and then and then down the inside there. That is
fifth, that is.
Yeah. Spanderi gets that done on Sam Light, and down the inside there. Yeah. Kacper Pajecki gets that move done, but fails to complete it on the exit. As back through goes Sam Light, holding on to that one. James Sester, fastest lap of the race, currently in 13th place after recovering from a crash at turn 1 at the start of that race. And there you go, Wagon still be rolling well.
Yeah, clearly unfazed by that, but he is 15 seconds off the back of Wellesley there in 12th, so be a tall order to get up into the top 4 to get to the A final, but crazier things have happened in karting. Yeah. Oliver Kerr now takes that fastest lap of the race. He's in 8th place. He's very much involved in this train, in this battle for 4th place. So could he get involved here?
Potentially so. We'll have to keep an eye on it all the way throughout this one. You're just watching them there, all going through. Now, it's Blake Noble here. Yeah, he's P4. But he's not defending, I would say, at all anywhere around the circuit. So now there we go. That's probably one of the corners that he probably needed to, as Chris Banderi looked to go down the inside. Yeah, he's held on to it for the time being, but that is a sign now that the drivers behind are wanting to get past, as Ross Tyler, now with the fastest lap of the race, the driver in 2nd place, has latched onto the back of Scott Smith for the race lead. Again, they're still both through to the A final, as a huge lunge under braking there. Yeah, that was the 99 of Kacper Pajecki, under braking at Christmas Corner, gets past Chris Banderi and moves up and says to Chris, all right, come on, let's think, let's try and get this position, because we don't want to drop off to the back here, because that is your ticket into the A final right there. And at the moment, Blake Noble is doing a fabulous job of holding on to it.
Now, of course, it's good to work together and be there just in case someone ahead maybe gets a penalty of some sort, whatnot, and you can jump up into one of those top 4 positions. However, currently as it stands, only one of these racers is going to get through into the A final. So working together to stay in the battle, yes, but also you have got to think about yourself through this one, as there's a move down the inside from Oliver Kerr, takes 7 plates away from Sam Light. And look at that, a big step of oversteer there from Blake Noble. Kacper Pajecki now right behind him. Where is he going to be able to go for a move? I think Blake Noble's now realising he needs to be a little bit more defensive here.
Yeah, he's going to have to be a defensive driver, make that cut as wide as possible for the next 2 minutes plus 1 lap if he wants to maintain that spot in the A final. Like I said, all these drivers behind could also smell the A final. Any one of those drivers there on your screen could go through to the A final, but which one is it going to be?
He needs to do a Spencer Brown that we saw earlier.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah,
that
was a fantastic job Spencer did earlier defending. But it's also heating up at the front, because Ross Tyler has got into the race lead now, fastest lap of the race as well. He's managed to pull that gap up to 3/10. Remember, there's still a long time to go in this race. Anything can happen. It's been a long day for all of these drivers, a long weekend for all of these drivers as well. They had races yesterday, qualifying, practice, warm-ups this morning as well. These wagons have been given a beating here at Wilton Mill.
Probably likely to be one of their first proper race weekends of the year, so they're probably going to be a little bit achy after this one today.
I suspect so as well, yeah. I was quite achy after my 20-minute kart session. Let alone a full race weekend.
You are an elite athlete, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. As my stomach growls.
This might be it.
Yeah, looking like Kacper Pajecki wanted to get that move done there and did get it done quite convincingly. Blake Noble, despite his best efforts, was unable to maintain that P4 position. But he's still in a safe spot. Remember, Kacper Pajecki was battling for quite some time to get that position. Went up and over. That was very lucky there. There was only a little up and over. Lost some time, but crucially didn't go skyward.
Yeah, that was Oliver Kerr trying to get through on Chris Banderi. Ends up now getting overtaken by Sam Light. So Oliver Kerr down to 8th place now.
Yeah.
Thinks about up the inside. Nearly contact again. Has to pull out of that one. But that sort of has broken up our little group now, hasn't it?
It has indeed. Timer strikes 0. Last lap board will be out this time then to Ross Tyler, who leads the way.
And Pajecki's already cleared Noble, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Three-quarters of a second now.
Yeah, so no dramas there. It'll all be down to have any of them got a nose cone penalty. I mean, looking at it, if Ross Tyler's clear, if he gets a nose cone penalty, he will drop down to 4th place. So he's fine. He's clear by 0.004 of a second.
Yeah, Scott Smith just about is within that as well, I think.
Yeah, no, Scott Smith, he's not.
He's not. No, you're right.
He gets
sorry,
5 seconds out of the line. He will drop back behind Blake Noble, William Pemble, and Kacper Pajecki. Also, checker flag goes out though, and Ross Tyler takes the win in the B final for senior Rotax from Scott Smith, William Pemble, and Kacper Pajecki, who will go through provisionally, of course, to the Rotax senior Rotax A final.
Scott Smith pushed on just enough in that last lap to clear himself, so it doesn't actually matter, I don't think, now if he gets a 5-second penalty or not, as it was 5.38 off the lead was Blake Noble, whereas he was 0.36 off the lead.
I was about to say, where's the smaller, angrier man?
Angry man?
Oh dear, that is
big.
That is Kacper Pajecki in the 99. He finished in P4, and it was the top 4 you needed to go through, and his body language says it all there. And unfortunately, his gap between himself and Blake Noble behind was 1.2 seconds. So Blake Noble there in the 54, who was okay. He didn't get a nose cone. Darren there saying to Blake Noble, "Excuse me, sir, can you move your cart? You're blocking the pit lane." Thank you.